Well, whether it's cold, ice, or snow, Atlanta's Department of Transportation is preparing for the winter. Coming up after the break, we'll show you how crews are getting ready for any surprises that winter may bring.
And we are staying on top of breaking news. A large police presence in southwest Atlanta at an apartment complex. This is a live look for you. We are on the scene working to learn more about what has taken place here. We'll keep you updated throughout the evening.
Right now at 5 o'clock, the man accused of killing Charlie Kirk is back behind bars after just appearing in a Utah courtroom. These are new photos of Tyler Robinson, who has yet to enter a plea. The 22-year-old is facing several charges in Kirk's death, including aggravated murder and felony use of a firearm. He surrendered to authorities one day after Kirk was shot while speaking at Utah Valley University on September 10th. Well, today's hearing focused on a public accessibility to the case. Kirk's widow here, Erica Kirk, has called for this case to be open to the public.
Just in tonight, the U.S. Department of Justice has failed to re-indict New York Attorney General Letitia James for a second time. Today, the grand jury declined to bring forth an indictment after the DOJ presented its case against James in Alexander, Virginia. A separate grand jury in Norfolk came to the same conclusion just last week. James previously pleaded guilty to mortgage fraud charges, but the case was dismissed when the judge determined the prosecutor who presented the case has been serving without authority.
Right now, a case before the Supreme Court has the power to rewrite how Washington works. Justices are weighing whether presidents can fire heads of independent agencies at will. Now, in case you missed it, this morning on 11 Alive Plus, Dan Kennedy, he spoke with the Emory Law professor Jonathan Nash about what this means for the separation of powers.
The president has, always been that these agencies can get their work done in Washington without being beholden to the White House. So if the president can fire these heads at will all of a sudden, what do you think that means for agency independence?
Well, there's no question that by some definition of the agency being independent of the president, that will go down. The argument the other way is independent agencies, if the president can't remove them, except for bad cause, the heads of the agencies, they're not really accountable. So you get these independent roving agencies, and the argument the other way, and there's an argument that the Constitution set it up this way, is that you want agencies to be democratically accountable. Now, whether that should be through the president being able to fire people willy-nilly or some other way, I don't know.
The Supreme Court is set to announce its decision on this case in June, and you can catch more conversations like this every morning on 11 Alive Plus. That's free to download to your TV. Well, right now we're continuing to follow breaking news in Southwest Atlanta, where there is an active police presence at an apartment complex.
And we know police responded to reports of a person shot there. 11 Alive's Doug Richards there for us now. Doug, we see that you're just learning some new information. What can you tell us?
We know that at the villages of Cascade in Southwest Atlanta off of Benjamin Mays, just outside the perimeter, 2 shooting victims in or around this apartment complex. Both of them survived the shootings, and we know that police appear to still be looking for a suspect in the case. Stepping out of the way here, the police presence has been significant here all afternoon, or at least not all afternoon, but just certainly over the last hour. Police have been barring residents from coming into the gates of the villages of Cascade where they live. And we know that police are continuing to investigate this case. We are expecting more information to be coming out pretty shortly, according to an Atlanta police official who just spoke to us. We are live in Southwest Atlanta. Back to you.
All right, Doug, thank you so much. Right now, the Atlanta Department of Transportation is preparing for whatever winter will bring. And while they're hoping for some warmer conditions out there, 11 Live's Grace King shows us how they are getting ready for any possible snow or ice that may be here in our future.
This shed full of salt is Atlanta's winter contingency plan.
This is basically the bread and butter of the operation.
While snow in the city isn't the norm, Deputy Transportation Commissioner Alan Smith says they always prepare for the possibility.
We actually prepare and plan for snow and ice year-round.
A possibility that became reality twice last January.
Last year was definitely an anomaly, to say the least. We had one storm, and I believe within a week or two we had another one.
Smith says the snowy start to 2025 is exactly why they take winter prep seriously. On North Avenue, they're stockpiling salt and readying an army of trucks year-round.
Snow is a little bit easier to deal with. Ice is a little bit harder. The good thing is that we keep the same approach.
Smith says there's very little he'd change about their response last winter, other than looking for a crystal ball.
If I had a crystal ball, I would have said somebody, let us know earlier that we'll be having another event, within a week's time.
In Atlanta, Grace King, 11 Alive News.